See that orange and black guy right there? That's a devil bug. That's a squash bug. I'm gonna wait for him to land and I'm gonna get him. This is what he's after, is this massive squash plant that is just going so strong. Hi, welcome back to Homestead to Health. My name is Caitlin and today is a garden update day, but usually I'm doing this in the evening and it is morning time right after chores, and I look great. I do. I super do. But we're here and we're going to be doing this. So I do have this squash plant right here. It's looking like it's going to be one of those buttercup squash that I like so much. And it's doing pretty well despite the fact that bad guys are coming out and trying to murder it. This whole plot here is just a very random, put seeds in the dirt, hope for the best kind of situation. And it looks pretty good, right? There is a melon or two wrapped up in there, but I don't really know of them. I can't see them. All I can see is this big, massive squash. Yep, that looks like a buttercup, right? You'll have to excuse me if you hear like just a bunch of sniffles and stuff. I'm not sick. I just have allergies randomly. Not usually a person that has allergies, but this past week with all of this humidity and apparently like a dust thing is happening and stuff, I've been having some pretty intense sniffles, so sorry for that if that's a problem. So here are my two raised bed gardens, and I am wearing my kangaroo pouch apron specifically for things like this. I found these two little cucumbers. I'm going to put them in my pouch. Good day. These are my pickling cucumbers. They seem to be doing well, but I haven't been watering my gardens because every single day I come outside it's so humid and hot. I haven't been watering my gardens just because every day I come outside it's so hot and it's so humid, and there's always like, you know, 20 or 30% chance of rain or something like that, and it never rains. So tonight, no matter what, no matter if it's actively raining, I'm gonna have my sprinklers out here really doing their thing. But these raised bed gardens, not a whole lot has happened this past week, which is kind of surprising to me because in the big garden and stuff, there's always so much movement and growth. These beds are probably just ready for me to continue planting. If you missed my last vlog about planning for the fall and late summer gardens, this one's going to stay pretty much the same, whereas I'm going to do something a little different here. And again, I won't know really until I put the seeds in the ground what that's going to be. I do see some growth though with my daughter's little melon plants. It seems to be doing okay. And then that celery back in the corner is finally starting to do something. I really wish that I would get one of these yellow cucumbers. It does look like it has some powdery mildew on it, and I know that you can combat that with like a milk and water mixture spray. But honestly, I don't know what it's been this past week or two, but I've just been so tired, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to come out here and do that, but I'm going to try my absolute best because I love my garden so much and I want to take care of it. Aren't these flowers just gorgeous? Oh yeah. So those sunflowers are beautiful. I love them so much. I'm really happy that my chickens just planted them for me. And the radishes are doing their thing. And that other little bed is just doing its thing. I'm kind of at this point though in my gardening season where whenever I come outside and I see things like that, all I can see is like that really needs some work, that needs some cleaning up, it needs some shaping up, and so I'm gonna have to put it on my schedule here soon that I'm gonna have to just do work in segments. I'm gonna have to work in my backyard a little bit, work in the front, so on and so on. It is a lot of work, but I can totally do it. I just need to segment the time out for it, but it's well worth it to me at least. And so here right next door to all of my raised beds is my squash bed. And it's doing pretty well, except for the fact that I don't have actual squash coming out of it. None of my squash made it. The squash bugs were so bad this year. Ooh, you see what I see? Ladies and gentlemen, that is my first gourd. Yippee-ki-yay. That little melon. Quite toasty, might I add. Ooh, it's the shade. My favorite. So here in Texas, it is really hot. I was actually talking to my sister about this last night. It has been way more mild to us this year than last year. And I don't know if maybe it's because I'm just kind of like used to being outside at this point, that the heat's not as terrible to me, but it still gets me. It still gets me every time. So I don't think I've ever really talked about it, but I actually have some fruiting plants. I've got plum trees over there that I made plum preserves out of earlier this spring. I've got a pecan tree that doesn't really seem to do much for us. But over here is my pear tree. Boom, pear. Now this won't be ready until this fall, but every time I'm headed over to my garden, I like to stop and kind of just check on the progress of those pears. Last year I tried to do pear butter or something like that. It was terrible, 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 terrible. But it's a new year. I could find a new recipe and maybe do something a little different. My pawpaw used to do pear preserves, and they were delicious. And so I'm thinking I might try something like that. We're here at my beautiful garden. I came through here with my niece. My sister and her kids visited yesterday, and we harvested most of the lemon cukes. And so I'm not seeing, look, there's one, but it's not ready yet. But we harvested quite a bit. Now I didn't make pickles out of them because I'm not sure about them. I'm not sure that their skin is like thick enough to hold up to a good pickling. It may be, probably. You can pickle just about anything. But yeah, oh no, I'm seeing some more of that powdery mildew. I might actually have to do that milk thing. But lemon cukes are really amazing slicer cucumbers. I just like to eat them raw. I like to eat them as an apple. They're super good. If you're considering maybe growing lemon cukes in your garden at some point, I highly, highly recommend them. They're great. But I'm still not seeing anything from my jelly melons yet, and so they might need a really long growing season, I'm assuming. But just nothing yet. I don't really see anything. I think I'm starting to see some flowers on them, but it's kind of difficult for me to see what the difference between the lemon cukes and the jelly melons are so far. What I really need to do is, you see how they're all reaching out from away from the fence? I'm so afraid of running them over with the lawnmower. I just need to come up and tie them up to the fence, or like retrain them. Somebody does not want me in the garden. Come on, guy. I'm really happy that I decided to come out here with my kangaroo apron on. My husband got me this for Christmas. He was such a stalker. We're both in the same farming and homesteading groups on Facebook, and somebody was like, what can I get somebody relevant to farming that they would really like? And I created like a 6-item list that I thought was really good for Christmas items for somebody that enjoys this kind of lifestyle. And he bought me almost every single thing that I said on that list, which is sneaky, but well appreciated. So I'm really glad that I came out in here in this. There's something that I want to add. Unless I have like something to particularly comment, I'll probably just do a lot of like visual things, because like I said, my sister came to visit me, and it was her first time to walk through my garden, and she was like, Kat, which, hi, I'm Kat. She's like, Kat, did you do all of this from seed? And I was like, well, everything but 2 plants, yeah. And she goes, I have watched your videos, but the magnitude of this garden, it just does not translate well through video, because everything is so big, so lush, and so vibrant. And I'm gonna do my best today to really translate just how awesome this garden is. And so I might not do a whole lot of talking today, but we're okay with that, right? I brought one of those black Hungarian peppers in this week, and it was so good. It had the same flavor to me as like a serrano, with not the, you know, spice level. It was spicier than a jalapeno, but not quite as spicy as a serrano, but it was very, very good, very flavorful. I liked it a lot. I really like this. I really like going through the garden and just kind of letting it speak for itself. But there are so many things that really, to me, are big changes. The squash behind me has died because the squash bugs here are just insane. And I'm still doing all of my study and research on them just to kind of understand them a little bit better and then work against them as best as that I can, because I never want to use anything like a pesticide, because all of my special bees that are all over my basil, those guys matter to me in a big way, and so I never want to do anything that could jeopardize them. And so I'm still doing my research on that, but I will have to replant my squash very soon because I want to harvest it, you know? I want to harvest a squash. But my beans are also dying back. They will also be replaced pretty soon for my late summer garden. But this row right here that I'm walking into, row number 2 of my garden, is full of blushing and turning tomatoes. I'm really glad that I have my pouch because it's going to come in handy. Look at these. Now, I don't remember what these are, so if you have any idea, let me know. They would probably have to be from Baker Creek or In My Gardener. They're cute though. Come on, guy. Uh-oh, we've had some splitting. So this might matter to other people in a big way because bugs and stuff could get up in there, but I know to my pigs, that doesn't matter at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep this one. And this one's busted already, even though it's not totally ripe, and it's just gonna go to the pigs as well. Oh, same. These are my Tommy Toe tomatoes, and they've been doing magnificent, and they taste pretty great too, but they have been my best and earliest producers. And I guess they're just lucky because underneath is my first Chrysanthemum melon that I've noticed in my big garden. These tomatoes next door are my Indigo Apples, which they're a lot bigger than I thought that they were going to be, but they're not turning red, not even a little bit. Neither are my Brad's Atomic on the other side. Now I could do something like putting aspirin at the base of them to stress the plant to make it turn red, but I don't want to do that. I feel like you do that whenever you're in danger of a frost or something and you really want your tomatoes to turn red soon. You just gotta be patient, man. You gotta learn the gardener's patience that I don't have and that I'm not equipped with. But so this is row 2. This is where I just walked down to get those tomatoes and stuff. And right behind me, this is my Mod Podge tomato plants that I kind of just put here and I let them govern themselves. But you can see, I staked them up because self-governing tomatoes are just ruthlessly sloppy. And so I put them all up, and they actually seem to be happier for it, except for this guy who's trying to break free. My tatsoi is looking amazing. I'm gonna have to come eat something off of here. These bees have red things all over their legs. I wonder what pollen they've been into. My next video, I'm gonna be making This week will be a cook with me video where I come and I just get a few things out of the garden and I put them together to make a very basic, simple meal. And I really hope that you're there to watch it. So if you haven't already, now's a great time to subscribe because I have awesome video content sometimes that I like to put out. These are all ground cherries of some sort, except for, you know, the lovely sourdock and the butterfly balm. And of course my huckleberry bush right there and over there. But these are all ground cherries, and I'm not very good or quick about coming out here and getting them before the bugs do, because these have fallen and they're empty. Which, by the way, if you want to save their seeds, you just take this inside, open it up. It's already been dried out and worked for you. And these, though, are really sweet and delicious to eat. I think this is probably my favorite aspect of row number 3 is this huge marigold plant that comes up to my belly. I love this thing. Isn't it gorgeous? Now I do have some tomatoes down this way. Now these are the Isis candy cherry tomatoes. I've brought a few in. I don't know. I haven't really got to know them very well, so I'm going to have to taste one to let you know how great it is. This one looks pretty good. Now these are the ones that I was the most excited about this year in growing because I loved the description of them. I love a cherry tomato, it's my favorite. And so I was most excited about this one. So dirt and all, who cares? It's really good, it's very light. It has a very light flavor and a very, Guys, every time I go back in from the garden, I always have tomato seeds in liquid on my shirt, because I'm an animal. But very good tomato. But still, the yellow gooseberries behind me are unbeatable. They are my absolute favorite. Take a little one. It's just the perfect bite of tomato. For as long as I live, I will always have the yellow gooseberry tomatoes growing in my garden. They're fantastic. And these here on the end, I'm actually pretty sure that these might be Bonnie's best. I'm not sure. Whenever I was first planting my garden and putting things over here from the greenhouse, I had every good intention of having my plants well marked, but I have 2 toddlers, and they did not have the same plans that I had. And so if I even was able to put a marker on them, they were quickly taken away. So I did my best, and so sometimes I'm just guessing on what is what. I'm gonna leave that one. I think these are some more of the... No, these could be yellow gold. Yeah, they feel full. These could be the yellow golden nuggets. Try these too. It looks like I'm having tomatoes for breakfast. Only I can eat a tomato, and it's always an explosion. This is really good. Not as awesome as the yellow gooseberries, but really, really good. I would grow these again. Now, I have something kind of terrible to admit. I really like how prolific and awesome that these Chrysanthemum Melons are. They're beautiful, they're stunning. But every time that I've had one, I haven't enjoyed it. I don't know if it's because I didn't chill it first. It didn't crisp up in that way that chilling a melon and chilling fruit does. And so I don't know if that was it, or maybe I just don't like it, but it just seemed to be kind of very mild, to the point that I would say it was almost bland. Yeah, so I'm not hating on it yet, not yet, but I'm just not overly excited about it. I've had quite a few, and I'm just not crazy about them. But that being said, like, they are really prolific, and look at that one, he's ready to come. See, they're beautiful. My tomato mess. They're beautiful, but I don't care about them that much, I guess. Now, the awesome thing about growing your own food is that you can make choices like, do I want to grow this again next year, or am I stuck with it forever? And I'm not stuck with it. And so if I don't just absolutely love something, I don't have to grow it. And so, but what that does to me though is it triggers something super fun in me where I'm able to go inside, I'm able to look through my catalog and pick out another seed packet. However, contrary, I am really impressed with this zucchini rampicante. Now this one could go a little longer and I'm gonna let it, but this has been doing massively well. Really, really good stuff. Look at how funky it is though. Come on, guy. I did manage though to get one more of these little squash off. That one probably will end up petering out, but it did have a big one on it and I was able to get that. The potatoes are doing just magnificent. My peanuts are doing crazy. And these right here are the purple Bumblebee striped tomato, and I think some of these are pretty ready. Not very soft yet. I'm gonna take this one. Oh, now look at that one. That's a beautiful tomato. Behind me are where I'm supposed to be planting some more okra today. And then it's actually my lasting okra, which that stinking bunny is back despite the fact that I sprayed that citrus oil. It's so weird. It just wants my okra. Look at how beautiful. Jicama. There's no way on front facing view that I would be able to show you those sunflower. Well, I guess there is. They're just significantly taller than me. Now what's behind me here, what's low right there, those are all the pineapple tomatillos and huckleberry bushes and stuff like that. And I will, like I said, be coming out later to harvest those. But guys, I feel like, again, I just missed the mark. I was not able to show you with great respect to my garden, like just how massive and great it is. But you know, the funny thing is that like I still want bigger and I still want more. I wish I could do this from here all the way down to the property line. I just love gardening and I love being here, but honestly, with being a one-man crew, I don't think I could handle something that large. But I really, really, really love this place. So this is my harvest from yesterday and then today. And I've been, well, some of this over here is today too. But look at that. So I came back inside because it was just too hot outside. Look at me, I'm red-faced, I'm gross. I had a great day outside already and my day has only just begun. But guys, I'm so happy that I get to go outside, and every time I go outside there's food waiting on me. In my last video, I talked about some of my garden goals that I have, and to bring something to eat inside every single day is my #1 goal, probably, most likely, definitely. And so I think I'm accomplishing that a little bit at a time, and right now is the time. And I know, despite the fact that I don't have just like energy pouring out of my ears right now or whatever, now is the time to be doing my planning, to do some re-sowing of things that didn't work out, things like the squash and the okra. But I'm also thinking like in terms of even next spring, and I know I need to chill, but I just can't help it. So whenever I'm walking through the garden, I'm thinking to myself, like, how can I prevent a thieving little rabbit next year you know, I think about those things. Like I think about like replacing my entire fence wall, which is chicken wire right now, with hardware cloth that's a little smaller and, you know, a little rabbit won't be able to get through. And I think about things like that. Ooh, but he could go underneath it. Things to think about. But I do consider these things, and sometimes it's kind of difficult for me because I'm always, you know, in this mindset of improving and doing more, doing better. What can I tweak? What can I work with? And I really do need to chill because I just need to be like present and rest in these things. And I'll tell you why. So Facebook reminded me, or had like, you know, the time hop thing or whatever of my girls from last year, and it was kind of funny because it was me on my phone, but it was me on my phone taking a video and explaining like what I had in my garden and what was what, and I just had the 2 raised beds and that's it. And the girls were talking, and it was just so sweet to listen to them, and with their little voices, and I was like, oh my babies. But I got to thinking to myself, like, I really wish that I would have just soaked in that moment. I would have remembered how they talked. I would have remembered like what was in my garden, and I should have been thankful for it instead of doing like I am doing now, you know, planning for bigger and better and greater things. I should have just been happy with my little garden and just been happy there with my 2 sweet little babies and stuff. And so I need to find that inner peace. I need to find that inner chill, so I'm not just constantly thinking about the future and stuff. But that's kind of a challenge. I thought though, because of that video, I was inspired by it. I thought maybe my next garden video that I would like for my oldest kind of lead the tour. I think that would be really sweet, really special to me, and I'm excited for that. So that's what I'm going to be doing next week for my garden update, is I'm going to be letting my big girl walk y'all through the garden, which is really exciting for me. Guys, thank y'all so much for hanging out with me today. If you haven't already, now's a perfect time to subscribe. Like I said, my next video is a cook with me video, and then I've got sweet, awesome things like my girl walking around the garden with y'all, and so there's just a lot of things to look forward to. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me today. I'll see y'all later.